Introducing Darkened Iron B and Darkened Iron C metal coatings. In this video, we're going to show you two of our new products that we're going to introduce to the metal coating line. It is a iron coating, just like the Iron B or Iron C, except that as you can see in our mix here, it is darkened. So, first thing you want to do is mix it up really well. If it's in a little jar, you can give it a good shake, but I always prefer using a mixer of sort, whether that be a paint stir or a paddle mixer on a drill like I have here. But then we are going to scoop it in and strain it, and if you've seen any of our other metal coating videos, you'll see that these are pretty similar steps. There's nothing extra other than making sure you mix it really good, but you should be doing that with the metal coatings, the regular iron and bronze, brass, copper, pewter, silver as well. Now we're going to spray this out of our Harbor Freight gun. This has a 1.4 tip on it, and it sprays it absolutely beautiful without any dilution. If you need to dilute it with a different gun, go for it. A little bit of distilled water works fine, but as you can see, it sprays out absolutely beautifully. And I'm going to do 2 coats of Iron B on both of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and do Iron C on our square piece. And then we'll just leave our Iron B piece on this little face mask portion of it. As mentioned earlier, there are other metal coating videos that go more in depth on tips and tricks. This one's just going to highlight the metal coating portion of the darkened iron. So we're going in with the second coat. You always want to do 2 coats on the metal coating. And since this is our second coat for Iron B, we are going to patina this face mask here. And then the other one we're going to set aside, and we're going to do some Iron C on it. The same patinas you use on the regular iron metal coatings will work on this as well. So here we're using Tiffany green, and I'm getting it saturated pretty good. And this is one of those that, you know, the more you put on, the better the reaction, but really it's the environment. You don't want it really puddling, because then sometimes it has a hard time because it doesn't get introduced into the oxygen. So I do try and run a little bit off, but more environment than anything else. If it's drying out due to a fan or the sun, wind, anything like that, then your reaction won't be quite as well. So here we're going to use the C version, and this is only for the C. First, you want to do the hardener, and then you want to do the catalyst. And it's very important that you go in that order. If you go the opposite order, then it can form little balls, and essentially it doesn't work. But get a paddle mixer. Again, you can do this by hand. I always like using the mechanical option for this, though, especially when doing in larger batches. But just pour it in nice and slow. You don't want to go too fast, but what I try and do is just get a good rotation on it to the point where it's not splashing out. That way I'm getting a good movement and everything. You can see the catalyst is much thinner, so you want to make sure that you go a little bit, slow on that pour. We went a little fast on this one, but it worked fine because we're using a mechanical mixer. We're getting it mixed up really well. Once that's all done, we can put on the patina just like you saw with the Iron B. So we're not going to show you spraying that out. This is already patinaed with Tiffany green, and we're going to use steel wool. Now for the best polish, you want to go with 1/0, 2/0, 3/0, and then finishing up with this 4/0 steel wool. I'm going to go straight into this one, and because I don't want it really polished up. Essentially what we're going for is a mill scale look where some of it has rusted. So that's the benefit of using the darkened Iron B metal coating or the Iron C metal coating, is that the darkened portion of it makes it not so bright and shiny silver behind it. It gives you that darkness as if it was either, you can go where it looks like mill scale, or you can look where it's turned into that really dark brown rust. You can get both looks with this one. It all depends on how much you want to burnish back. But we'll show you a couple pictures here of some options just that we got doing our samples and everything. First is the piece that we just burnished. So you can see where it has kind of lighter areas, but in the recesses is the dark rust, which is beautiful. But here's one that we did, but we didn't burnish. So you can leave it just like this and it's completely fine. In fact, I had to do a second sample because I didn't want to touch this one. I just loved how it looked. But then we go into just our darkened Iron B with the Tiffany green, and you can see that kind of nice, like it's about to pop rusty out, and it's just kind of that dark brown right now, which looks really cool. But here we have burnished Iron C with the Tiffany green with silver metal rub highlights just to add a little extra flavor to it. Darkened Iron B and Darkened Iron C are now available at www.sculptnouveau.com or by calling us at 760-432-8242.